Animals have never ceased to capture my attention. They're fascinating creatures that are familiar yet foreign. This past year, I decided to travel to Blackwater National Wildlife Refuge and join the BNWR photography Facebook group in preparation for my trip. While driving down Wildlife Drive, I looked up and saw a great blue heron gently gliding through the sky. Seeing that magnificent bird flying above the shimmering water felt like an eternity that I wished I could stay in forever. BNWR is a magnificent sanctuary where people can escape reality and immerse themselves in nature. However, the concept of an untouched and pristine wilderness within this space reflects a history interlaced with settler colonialism, racism, racial capitalism, and ethnocentric ideals. The land that BNWR is based on originally belonged to Native Americans, the Nanticoke and the Choptank. They were severely displaced in the 1600s because European settlers began to arrive. This land was used for plantations, farming, trapping, and timbering, and the labor was provided by enslaved people. In 1933, the U.S. federal government demarcated this land as a refuge, specifically for waterfowl. Today, this refuge serves two purposes: to protect and conserve wildlife and to provide a safe space where people can enjoy themselves. This refuge provides various recreational activities such as hunting, fishing, biking, birding, auto tour, boating, hiking, education programs, wildlife watching, canoeing, night sky tours, and more. In my latest visit, I participated in photography, wildlife watching, auto tour, and hiking. There were also groups of little fourth graders everywhere, and their high-pitched whoas could be heard throughout the refuge. While at this refuge, I noticed that almost every staff member, volunteer, park ranger, or visitor was white. This lack of racial diversity piqued my interest. According to the 2018 BNWR Visitor Survey, 92% of all visitors are white, with 0% Black, African American, Middle Eastern, and Pacific Islander visitors. According to an article by CNN, around the 1950s, POC, people of color, were banned from participating in national parks and were targets of hate crimes, which has instilled fear in POC today. John Muir, the creator of the national park system and the conservation movement, had a long history of upholding ethnocentric ideals, which contributes to the unwelcome feelings that POC experience in wilderness spaces. On October 6th, I arrived at BNWR with my sibling around 11 a.m. and immediately went to the visitor center to see the gift shop. As we walked back to the car, we were viciously attacked by deranged mosquitoes and had to sprint to the car. Some of the mosquitoes made it inside, and we just randomly began smacking the windows and screaming in hopes of killing them. The marshlands were breathtaking. I had closed my eyes and felt the breeze brush against my skin and let the sound of the rustling marsh overtake me. Seeing the eagles and herons flying above me, hearing the egrets wading through the shallow water, and hearing the quiet plop of the turtles falling in the creeks, I felt a sense of timelessness, relief. An older couple were sitting on a bench and embracing themselves while looking at the marshlands. It reminded me of my grandparents who had recently passed away, and I imagined them doing the same thing that this couple was. I had wished that I could stay in this moment forever. The feelings and memories that this refuge brings to me are profound and reflect just one of the positive aspects of this space. The BNWR photography Facebook group members were welcoming, kind, and informative. On October 10th, I posted a picture of a butterfly and received comments like, "Gorgeous capture, Karen," and "Wow, have never seen a butterfly like this. Thank you for sharing." I felt happy that the pictures that I took much effort to edit, capture, and post were being validated and that I managed to teach someone something. On October 21st, I posted a link to a questionnaire, and when I asked members why they joined the Facebook group, the responses said, "I love nature and how people share their observations and their connection to nature. And I enjoy Blackwater and I enjoy seeing it through the eyes of others." In the 2018 BNWR Visitor Survey, there is a section for participants to place general comments. A large majority of comments complimented the state of the refuge. There were a few comments that referred to the conservation aspect of the refuge. For example, "Please do everything to preserve this beautiful nature experience and habitat to birds and wildlife. And I love the refuge in the area and hope that federal support for the refuge itself and to its facilities and programs is restored to levels that will allow it to continue to play a vital environmental and economic role. These comments relate to the responses I received in my questionnaire that showcase the concern for conservation and environmental preservation. This Facebook group is a space where people can show appreciation for wildlife, and by doing this, the members are reinforcing the significance of wildlife conservation in our society. The severe lack of racial diversity is disappointing, and I am glad that I am now aware of it and can share this information with others. A possible solution for POC to feel more welcome in outdoor spaces is to place more POC in positions of leadership within the wildlife conservation community. I truly believe that spending time in nature is healing for the body and mind. One of the responses I received in my questionnaire mentioned the concept of forest bathing, and I think that is a perfect way to describe what being in nature feels like. Ironically, the original purpose of the refuge was a sanctuary for birds and to protect local wildlife, but now it is like a sanctuary for people. This refuge is a beautiful place that should be enjoyed by all groups of people.